Intuitive You. We are so happy you're here with us today, and I'm just super excited because two of my favorite people are on the other line here, and they're Aussie team over in Australia, and they're part of One Heart Global, and we're just so happy to just have them here to share more of the mission and how you can get involved and just what's happening in Ecuador and obviously in Australia. There's so much going on, and these beautiful lights are leading the way in just more ways than one. But I just wanted you to be able to meet them because they're so dear to my heart, and they just have so much to share. So if you want to just introduce yourselves one at a time, maybe Michelle, if you want to start, and then Amber can pop in.
Sure. It's so great to be here with you, Abby, and to be here on Oneness Talk and talking all things intuitive. It really means a lot to us. And to know that we're here representing you in your Australian team, that makes me even more happy. Can't say enough about that. I think when I start to think about what we're going to talk about today, so much comes up within me. There's so much that we can go into, and I think the main thing is how we're connected, because really at the end of the day it's about our force of life and our heart, and that is exactly the essence of who you are. And I think that's exactly why we're here today, because your heart expanded out across the world and it found us. And Alyssa, who's also part of our One Heart Global, there was just something about the connection, and all of the elements that we're all about just seemed to come together. They all merged, life force connection with live your best life, people empowering people to, step into and own their truth. And part of that has been around the heart space of love and tapping into the being of who they truly are through their intuition. So I'm all about living your best life. You're all about life force connection. And Alyssa is all about empowering people. And all of a sudden, you have this beautiful blend of hearts that come together, and across the globe it's like we're one heart now beating as one. And that's why the mission of One Heart Global is so really high, it resonates highly within me.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's like the resonance, like we feel it. It's like, I remember I was going to say when I was a kid, when I was in my 20s, I'd send out vibrations throughout the world, and just I didn't really think it was going to work, but obviously it did. It's like a global organization now, right? You're just kind of wow, the love works, the energy works, and people feel it. We all feel it, and we trust that you're listening to this for a reason, because there's something in your heart that we're speaking to, and your heart's probably calling you to. And so we have something called the Intuitive Success Club that I've been teaching for I think 18 years now, Michelle. It's I started just coaching just adults and children, and I watched how we have the answers within us when we listen to the resonance of our heart and we trust our intuition. And then it's really coming together in love and breaking through any disconnection from love, our thoughts or beliefs that aren't love. When you let those go, you just realize you're love. That's it. And what do you want to do with it? How do you want to express it? So that's why our collective mission is to help the children of our world. And we also, the way it works is we help you live your dream at the same time. So Michelle, do you want to share a little bit more about how the Intuitive Success Club works, is with the adults and the kids, and how each adult?
Sure, absolutely. So your this body of work that you created, Abby, I know it kind of downloaded through you, and it just was it's one of those moments in time where you can't really explain it, and it just happens. And I'm assuming that's what it was like.
It was.
I know we've talked about it a lot. This is mothership download, and here is this incredible piece of work that 18 years on, many people around the world are tapping into. And, to me, it's just well, that is the essence of you, because that's your spirit living its life's purpose. It's, in all sorts of ways that we can look at it, right? You're in your dharma, you're in your acts of service, you're in your selfless service. And when something downloads and pops out of you like that, that's exactly what's going on, is purity. It's its pure essence of truth. It's the truth, right? So when we all became united, and it was all around this mission of the One Heart Global. So One Heart Global, one heart, one dream, and allowing people all around the world to be able to tap into their dreams and change lives because of who they become. And as they become who they want to be, or who they really truly are, then everything changes in the world. And that's why linking the kids is absolutely essential to this work, Like it has to be. So they're the next generation, right? Like they are going to take everything that we all leave behind and they're going to continue to rise up together and do with it what they have. So it's like the power is in their hands. So knowing that we have this project at the moment on the go, like One Heart Global, we focus on one project at a time and we support them until we know that they're okay, right? Like they're okay, they've got what they need. So our particular project at the moment being the home that we support in Ecuador, and I call it the home because it really is. It's about a place where, or a center, it's a center or a foundation. We used to call it an orphanage, but it's really just become a home because that's what it was created for. It was initially created to help street kids and street kids that, you know, had dysfunctional homes. And right now we've got 21 kids who are in a home in Ecuador that we support, and the home can take 25. But what we realize is that those 21 kids right now need our help. They need help with their building. It's in a state of disrepair. And the government accreditation, you know, they're a registered home, like they actually are registered through the government over there. But the home needs help and it needs to be upgraded. And we're in the process of actually raising the funds to be able to get them a new home. But in the meantime, they need to stay in the home they're in. So we went, how could we create a combined mission where people who say yes in the adult world, like people like you and me, where we go, how can I actually tap into myself, connect more deeply to myself, and also live my dream? How could I also do that and maybe support a child to do the same? So every time an adult person says yes to us, basically they're saying yes to themselves, to actually reclaim the parts of themselves that maybe they've forgotten, or maybe they just simply haven't experienced within themselves yet. So the Intuitive Success Club is that beautiful point of connection, because what it does is it literally places them firmly in the driver's seat of their own dream, and it allows them to connect more deeply to themselves and trust themselves again. And when they do that, they're saying yes to a child. So every person that joins the Intuitive Success Club, we are gifting the Intuitive Kids program to a child within the home, but also the funds, a portion of the funds are going back to support the work that we need to do at the home. So it becomes a win-win-win. And that's where the One Heart concept really aligns, because it's one heart, one dream, and everyone's in it together. And I think that's where I feel really called to be a part of the mission, because it's also full of integrity. It's got integrity at every part of its being. So yeah.
Yeah, and just a little bit more about what the Intuitive Success Club is, because, you know, Michelle and Amber, who you're going to get to see here pretty soon, are actually going to be trained coaches there, where they're going to teach it as well. So we have people around the world who have learned this process, but you might be wondering, what is this process going to do for me? Like, what is the Intuitive Success Club?
What is it?
So it's really simple. So basically it's an activation series of all the energy within you. So the concept is you already have the answers within. So we go through the main 7 chakra centers, and it's not just learning what the chakras are, it's literally becoming the energy. So you're vibrating to your highest potential. Your highest potential is going to be your soul's potential. So just like I was sitting there in my early 20s, like sending out beams of light to the world, it comes back to you in physical form. You embody it first. So you're literally becoming the energy. You're becoming who you're meant to be. The second part is clearing the blocks. So because our mind can sometimes have experiences of disconnection from love, when that happens, when we have a negative thought with a negative emotion, there's a blockage. Now, this is where you will find disease in the physical body. Your mind might not feel clear. Your heart might feel upset. When you reconnect with your intuition, you reconnect to love, and wholeness is restored. Yep. And then the third part, once you've cleared those blocks, you're in the manifesting factor, or the business factor if you're wanting to monetize your gifts, which, by the way, the heart of this actually did happen. I was telling you right before we got on, Michelle. So I was teaching at different colleges in San Diego. And one day, like, I really did just walk in. They're like, you need to do your own certification program. I'm like, oh, great idea. And the seed of that was how to teach spiritual entrepreneurs to monetize their gifts. Period. That was it. Yeah. And then I started reaching other people, I'm like, well, you don't just have to have a business. Like, it'll work for kids to be who they are, to acknowledge their intuitive gifts, which is a lot of what the intuitive child is about. And just as you become whatever expression you're meant to be, you're being the light in the world. That is being the change. And so that is the process. It's step one, connect with your intuition, align. Step two, break through the blocks. Step three, manifest, live your dream. So that's why when Michelle says, you know, you do the Intuitive Success Club for you, or maybe you and your child, we donate one to the orphanage, a childhood orphanage. Now, I've been there live. I've been to multiple orphanages. We've been to Thailand, Bali. The last one that Michelle was talking about, not the last one in general, but the current one is Ecuador. And so in March, I was there and we taught for a day, right? Live. I mean, kids were coming up crying, hugging me, like it breaks through energetically because they're seen. You know what it's like when somebody just sees you? Like Michelle is somebody in my life that sees me. You're just like, you're my soul mate. Like they talk about mates in Australia. I'm like, you really are my mate. Like you're my soulmate. You know, like it's so beautiful because it's I got you. So think about a time, just anybody in your life that sees you. Maybe it's your mom, your dad, your partner, a friend. That feels so good because they're seeing the truth of you. And, you know, Amber is somebody that has an amazing gift with media. So she's going to come in and talk about like how she sees the truth of people, how she's able to bring that forth. So we all have these gifts. And when we find them, we can share them, right? And so that's what the Intuitive Success Club is about, because success is absolutely inevitable. Anybody that's taken this program, I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's typical, like double or triple or quadruple their income, get new jobs, like have their partners, get new houses. It's insane because it's like, well, you're living your highest potential. Of course. How could you not? If you imagine yourself being fully connected, clearing your blocks, of course you're going to be successful. So it's just the process. And like I said, or Michelle said, it's been 18 years. It's proven it works, but we're here to do it together because we know as you do it for you, you do help a kid, but you help the whole world because you're getting brighter. So I think that's enough. I guess I should give the website. Michelle, can you give the website? Because I'm afraid I might say it wrong.
Absolutely, I can. Yeah, I think everyone, like, you should head over and check it out. I mean, if you're in a space of knowing the whispers are whispering to you, and you know that what Abby just has said and shared, that it's true, you know it. You know what she just said is true. So you need to be able to find out a way to be able to do that. So when we reach that place of connection and then we move into empowerment, we need the actual steps. So if you go and check it out, you'll see exactly what Abby has just said, that, you know, if you're like me, you need to read it and then, you know, soak it all in. But it's lifeforceconnection.com and it's /coaching-certification. So sorry, I should say not the dash. Let me say it again. lifeforceconnection.com, coaching. It is a dash.
I'm wondering if we could put this
certification.
I wondered if we could put this chat live, but I don't know how we could.
Yeah. So. It is a dash, guys. So lifeforceconnection.com, coaching-certification. If you go there and check that out, you'll see the actual program and you'll be able to see all the FAQs and you'll see some testimonials from people who have actually gone through and done it. And you know, this is why Amber and I are so excited. We're sitting here in Australia, and this force field of energy that Abby has emulated out to the world has reached us. And this is what it's like when you're actually vibrating at that true frequency, because you will land, your message lands, your heart lands, everything about your essence rises up. And one of the things that I say, because, you know, Abby and I are soulmates, and yet we haven't actually met in person. So how does that work? So there's this whole thing for me around that proximity is absolutely no obstacle when you're resonating at that vibrational frequency of the highest potential that you've just said. So Abby, Amber and I were literally just having chats with Abby just recently, and we're like, you know, this is the reason why we're together. This reason that we're together is so that we can help other people to live their dream. In the process, we live ours. And in the process, that kids are also then exposed to this body of work, so that together the world just continues to rise up. And let's be honest, right now, it's probably, this is why things like this are here so that people who are the life changers, the light seekers, the truth heroes are literally going to be the people who can pave the way and shine a new path for people to be able to realize that there is this incredible potential within, that when you are resonating at that frequency, all the other things that seem so low vibrational, they just don't enter the field. You know, like we have so much going on here in Australia right now, and some days I feel like I'm so immune to what's going on around me, even though it seems like so down here, like it seems big, but it doesn't seem like it's going to impact me in any way. Because when you're actually in that truth, you just completely are not seeing all the things when you're not in fear. I think that's the thing, is you don't operate from a place of fear or survivalistic tendencies anymore. So things just tend to drop away. But we're excited because we're going to be rising ourselves up and becoming certified coaches here in Australia so that this work continues to permeate itself around the globe. And it's why we've linked it so intrinsically to the One Heart Global mission, because here we are, all various people, Amber, myself, and Abby and Alyssa. We've met for a reason, and here we are. We are literally the life force of one heart beating as one through the global mission of One Heart. And as Abby said, you know, we're on a mission. She has already been incredible without a team around her. And now with uniting and having a collective union of mind, of thought, of heart, of all of those things, we bring different skills because we're all in our own purpose field. So we're all stepping in and claiming that, but we bring a different element to the team. And I think that, you know, there's a saying, isn't there, you know, two heads are better than one. But, you know, then you start to bring in more and more brilliant minds, but it's actually about the brilliant hearts that you unite with, I truly believe. So purity of highest integrity and intention. So we're going to get our life force connection coaching certification, and we will be able to coach the Intuitive Success Club here. And that is amazing, because that means that every time we are allowing people to step in, claim themselves and live their dream, what that means is the One Heart Global Mission gets its life force from that too, because every time someone steps into the Intuitive Success Club, a part of what they do is then gifted back to whatever project we're working on through One Heart Global, be it right now supporting the 21 kids. Then we'll get them a new home. And then our bigger vision in the next 2 to 3 years is to be able to build them a wellness retreat, or to build a wellness retreat or center that then is able to fund and self-fund a brand new home and a school for them. And then who knows how many kids that will be then, you know, and they really need it over there. There's a lot of kids there that, you know, I know kids everywhere have this challenge, but this is just the current mission that connected deeply within us. And having had Abby there on the ground and being able to connect and unite with the kids via technology, which is just incredible. You know, we've definitely got to thank COVID for some things, because it's allowed us to realize that you don't always need to have the physical presence for greatness to abound within the work that you do. As long as you're being pure of soul and essence, you will permeate out to those who need to receive you.
Yeah, pretty funny. I did actually go through COVID though and actually show up there. I mean, we've done a lot of online stuff, but actually, I was like, nothing stopping me. Like my dad went with me. I was like, Dad, I can't go alone. He's like, okay. I was like, all right. Real quick, Michelle, I'm going to do a screen share because I'm not sure everybody got the link right. So I'm just going to. I have the notepad. Can everybody see it right here or no? Can you see it where it says coaching?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. So if everybody can see that, you can see it, Michelle?
Yeah, we've got it. So lifeforceconnection.com coaching certification. And I would really encourage you guys that if you are really looking at your whispers, to go and have a look at the testimonial there. There's a testimonial from a beautiful soul called Christy Fowlers, I think is her name. And every time I watch that testimonial, I go, oh, boom. Yep. This woman is in alignment, pure alignment. So
yeah, she's awesome. It's just so many amazing people that now all do amazing things. I just had another student from Europe text me. So just for some reason, if you're not able to get in, just go to the main site, www.lifeforceconnection.com, and you go under classes and you'll see the Intuitive Success Club. And then there's, you'll see sessions and so much, but just to make sure you have that. And then Amber, I'm so sorry to keep you waiting for so long, but save the best for last. So I'm like, can you share why you said yes to the Intuitive Success Club? Because I know you did feel the whisper. You've been hearing it for a while of what your soul is here to do, because you and Michelle both shared that with me. So, what allowed you to really be like, yeah, I'm going to do this?
Well, it's funny because like I've always wanted to do my part to help and give back to the world, and I didn't really know how I was going to do that. And I just trusted, like when this opportunity came to me, it just felt right. I was like, yes, like definitely, like and even to do it like for my kids, I want to show them that they're capable of doing everything and living their dreams. And I want to have those teachings to pass on to them and to the next generation. And that's why it all just feels right. So I'm going to apologize if they interrupt me.
I love it. I'm going to
Thank you. Say hi. This is all part of the mission. They're kids, right? So let them be kids.
Yeah, it is. And like even little things the other day, Abby, when we were chatting and you said, I want to get your kids involved. How can we get your kids involved? When we got off that call, I actually spoke to my eldest son and I said, how do you want to get involved? And his little eyes lit up and was like, and just started coming out with all the ideas and whatnot. And yeah, I just think it's a very special mission, and everything that's happened in my life has led me here. So I truly believe everything's a blessing in disguise. So the path that I originally was going down was basically to lead me here. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that you say that. I learn from you every time you say that, because it's like it is always putting the positive spin. And that's something that I teach the kids and myself and everybody, like, what's the gift? Because there is some reason, and it's like my old business manager used to tell me, he's like, there's no experience greater than you. So meaning like you've risen to that for a reason, to then pass that down, to share it, to know. To me, wisdom is lived experience, and sometimes not even lived. You just know it. Like your just soul knows. Like, I mean, Michelle and I, when we go back, and I think you've maybe been part of the conversation, I'm not sure, but like years upon years, we've been like downloading and dreaming. Like she's written, so many things about houses for kids with love, and we're just like, like I met you with the stars before I met your body.
I think that's a really important part though, right? Because I don't know, it was at a young age for you, Abby, it was at a young age for me. And I think from talking to Amber, she's had these, so this is the point, right? That kids are actually experiencing this knowing at an early age. But what happens is we don't allow it to blossom enough when it's actually being heard, and then it gets kind of shut away, right? And then as adults, we go, hang on, this thing is still there. And this is why as adults, because right, as you said, we have experiences in life. We then create all these meanings around those experiences, and then we attach beliefs to those things, and then they become our reality. And then all of a sudden one day we kind of go through adulting, and we go, something just doesn't feel right. But there's a whisper that's going, but you already know. And it's about tuning in to that little voice that you just know is purity of truth, and not continuing to suppress it. And for me, it was really front and center. I had all this as a 7-year-old, 9-year-old, but at 15, it was like, boom. And that's where I went on my mission. And then sort of mid-20s, adulting got in the way again. And then I went through another process of reconnecting and hearing. And then after I just realized there is no stopping me, I went, boom, and it's like going to a mechanic. Like you got to clear it out. You got to keep things clear, and you've got to keep things away. You got to make sure that if there's a light going dunk, dunk, dunk on the dash, that you pay attention to that light. Otherwise, you're going to be stranded on the side of the freeway going, oh, I should have watched and done something earlier.
Yeah.
I just feel that it's like, you know, you change your spark plugs, you continue to change the oil, you continue to make sure that you fuel the car with the right fuel. And these are all parts of, I think, being in alignment with yourself, because if you're ignoring those signs, eventually you're going to be like, whoa, I need some really big help now.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate something about what you said about kids. So one of the things that I learned when I started working with them is they have the answer too, right? So we did as well. So Amber, I'm sure, actually Amber did share at a point, she felt very tuned in, if I can share a little bit. When she was a kid, she was feeling things, you know, beyond even the physical, she knew. And so I think I'd shared with you, Michelle, like I was in the laundry room and I felt like I was holding the world and it was holding me at the same time. And the other thing I want to say, because it's connected to Australia, is I felt the ocean. Like I live by the ocean, you know, the places we've been already is Bali, Thailand, and now Australia, all by the ocean. So my point in saying that is we know. And so to hold the space for children, so whether it's at the orphanage or clients in my office, or honestly, friends have dropped their kids off at my houses before and they just stay the night because they just love being in the love. They know, but we hold the space for them of unconditional love and non-judgment. Because when you do, your intuition already knows. But it's the judgment and fear that actually stifles it. So you think about, you know, when you grew up, if you were stifled, it was because of fear or judgment, probably from your parents or the church, in my case. Whatever it was, that was like, don't be who you are, when in truth, your intuition is a natural expression. So again, if you hold that space of unconditional love and non-judgment for your kids, for yourself, for each other, you actually open the space for like a flower to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like a lotus, like it just opens for the life force to actually move through you. People are like, you have so much energy. I'm like, yeah, because I balance my chakras, and it just, you're like a supercharged battery, you know? They're like, I need my Abby fix. I'm like, okay, like here's how you do it. Join the Intuitive Success Club. You just become super aligned, like you said, get your oil change.
Exactly right. So. It is. And that's like the program of it. It's like, it's already there, but you just need some attunement. And if you, like, even, you know, when a life experience just comes along and goes, poof. Yeah. I don't know what it's like for you now, but for me, it's like I already know how to return. Yeah. Return, right? Like we're not going to go through life and not have these experiences. That is life. That's what being human is about. That's the human element. It's the whole point of being a human being. Yeah. It's about that experience, because it allows emotions and it allows feelings and it allows us to connect to those things. We here at Live Your Best Life, we talk about duality of contrast, right? So you've got the black and the white, the dark, like everything's got complete balance. So we're never going to go through life and it's just all going to be a radiant beam of magical rainbows and unicorns. As much as that's probably what we would all love, what becomes more human about it is that duality. And when we are hit with the darkness, we allow ourselves to see more light, because you can't see out of darkness unless there is light, right? Like if you're in a dark room and it's all blacked out, yes, you can probably feel your way, but really it's about shining the light and you can see, and that can happen like that. But sometimes you need a helping hand, especially if you just haven't believed in yourself enough yet.
Yeah. And I think I just got off, I was helping a friend, she has something called the gift of connection. And I think that's so beautiful. Is like, we're your community, we're here, you're not alone, you know, and that is, you know, having this new team come in, it's beautiful because yeah, you're held in the one heart, you know.
100%. Yeah. Pure resonance.
Totally. Did you?
I just wanted to share something that Amber shared with me the other day. If that's okay, Amber, because we were collaborating on some of our marketing pieces for, you know, what we're sharing about this work. You know, whether it be the alignment of the Intuitive Success Club being the foundation of all the fundraising that takes place for the One Heart Global Mission. And she was sharing with me about the kids, her kids with Colby and Cooper, and it was literally like, he actually thinks now he has a job and he's going to come here. He's like, so what's my job? And Amber's like, well, what are you gonna do for, you know, the mission? What did he say, Amber?
he was like, oh, maybe I could hold like a meditation class, or he's like, oh, maybe I could write a book. And I'm like, mate, you can do whatever. And he's like, do I get to come in the next meeting? That's why he was here when we first started, because he was like, oh, it's meeting time, and he thought he was jumping on.
Well, he can come to the next board meeting for sure.
Yeah.
That's what I said to him. I was like, yes, when the kids are on next, you can come and can talk to them.
I just think that it's beautiful, because he's watching his mum claim the space of her truth, and as a result he's actually vibrating and realizing that, wow, this is actually something that can be real for me also.
Yeah, and his eyes lit up. He was like so excited to do something and to help at the same time. He's one of those kids that have a lot of empathy for others. Like he feels, you can tell he feels. He's the type of kid that will cry in, you know, a movie that most people won't cry in. Like he feels a lot. So I think it'll be very special for him. Just last night he made me lay down and he was giving me a meditation lesson.
I love that so much. Amber's kids actually joined the meditation series that we just ran recently as a fundraiser for the home, and it was so great. I saw them every Tuesday sitting there on their mat all ready to go, side by side with mum. But we were laughing the other day because here in the office we're going, next time he comes here, we're going to set him up and say, that's your desk. You know, get to work, write your book, get your meditation classes sorted. So, you know, that's the ripple effect, that when we actually stand in our truth and become our highest potential as the adults, or I call us the giants in the world that kids look up to, you know, because to them we're like these big people, and to us they're like the purity of what can remain here on this earth for the next generation to continue to tap into. So very, very special.
I think remember the part of you that knows, like, your inner child is so connected to your intuition. That is the purity within you, right? It knows. So I think just to remember that's still in you too, you know?
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
That is the whole point. So yeah, all I know is that, you know, right now there seems to be a lot of people reaching out, questioning what are they going to do now with their life, because there has been this great global pause, and so in some ways people are giving themselves permission to re-engineer their life and really start to claim what is that truth. So I love that right now is a perfect time for people to actually say yes, because everything's been shaken up. So you now get the opportunity to re-engineer, design and create a life that you truly love, and that means finally going after a dream that you've been holding on to and nurturing within you. There's never going to be a better time than now to do that. Yeah, never a better time. The needs of the world are not going to change too much. You know, we're always going to, the sun will continue to rise and it will continue to set. And we all know that there's going to be certain things that we need throughout our life to be able to live our truth here, and that is, you know, we need some shelter, we need some food, we need some fresh air, we need some sunlight. Like nothing really changes too much. It's just a lot of noise that goes on. So it's always about the inherent truth of the nature within, because that's the vibrational frequency. It's not about all the things that go around us externally, but there's these certain things that we will always require, and that's where love comes in. You know, love, I think, is the foundation of all of those things.
I think, you know, you were sharing with me, actually Amber was too, some things that are happening in Australia, which I feel like probably happened, it's been happening around the world, but like significantly like a year ago, where a lot of people were coming to me like, hey, like they don't necessarily have the jobs they used to have, right? Because things are shifting. And so Amber was also sharing, one of her friends, you know, lost her job. And so then it was like, okay, what does that open now? And so it actually is such a gift to open the creativity. Like my business probably grew the most last year because it was like people realized their purpose was more important than their job. Who they are is more important than anything. And then as you activate your gifts, you can create that business that you actually love, that helps people from that place of love. So that's why we're so excited about the club, you know, because both in Australia here and around the world, but we're just so close to our own conversations, just knowing that like now is the time to do that business you love. Now is the time to step into your power and live your purpose, because the world needs you. You need you. We need you. Like, step up and have the courage, because actually it's easier to do that than the other. It's actually easier to live your dreams than not, I promise.
Yeah, and to live life on your terms, because at the moment people's lives are not in their own hands. Yeah, so if you're not connecting deeply to your lucrative purpose or your gifts within that create your life through it's still becoming a currency, like a transaction, then someone else is going to rule your life, and they're going to do that for the rest of your life, and that's where you're going to be in uncertain times from time to time. So people are done with the old world of the 9 to 5 grind, and it's different now. It's like when you resonate at the frequency of your truth and you step into that, you can never not know it. And so then to live in a world of social construct of like 9 to 5 and clocking in and clocking out, and I'm not being judgmental on the people living that life at all. We need those people in our world, because some people clock in, clock out, and they are living their truth. They're high vibing. People can be a cleaner at a hospital and love their job. And we need cleaners at hospitals, right? Like, people can vibrate in anywhere they are if their highest truth is being exposed and they're living it. So, but something you just said, it resonated with me.
Just stepping up into purpose, and like now is the time to live your business, your gifts, because it's in essence the world is like breaking open to break free. Like
that's exactly right. And that's where people who claim that as this it's almost like a gift this time in the world right now. Imagine if nothing changed, then nothing would change. And so I actually think that the universe knows what it's doing. I trust that. It's always done, has it ever let us down? No, it's still, the sun still rises every day. It's the most selfless thing that I know. It just shows up and never is late. Like, it's always on time, and it just rises. I'm sure the sun has moments in time where it goes, I don't really want to get out of bed today. But guess what? It always does. And nature and the life cycle of nature just never lets us down.
So it's so fascinating.
The universe has got our back, and we just have to trust that this whirlwind storm that's being played out around the world right now is actually, it's already got a grand plan for people to be able to do that. And I think this is the time. If you're not going to do it now, you're going to still be sitting there wonder what it felt like if I actually just went for it.
The blessing in disguise.
It is. It really is, because you said something there, Abby, about your business has been way more successful last year. Like, your business did really well, and it was the same for us. And that's why we're now at a state of collaboration, because we need to expand our team to keep up with the demand of people who want to live their dreams and live their best life. Because without having true heart-centered coaches on board the team, that's why it's just a perfect way for us to go, hey, let's meet up and let's unite, and let's actually, there's no borders. Like, there are absolutely no borders anymore. You can be in any part of the world at any time of day, connecting with people all around the world. And to now know that we have your gift of the Intuitive Success Club and your heart as a part of our team here, to be able to say that we actually have access to this incredible coach who is in America, and her name is Abby Gooch, and she created this Intuitive Success Club. And for those of you who want to actually step in, claim your truth, and really tap into your highest potential and really live that dream, we here can now access and point people directly to you. And that is really powerful stuff, because that just means that people everywhere are going to get there quicker and sooner, and it's not going to be limited by, oh, have we got space in the calendar to fit you in? Because right now we're almost at capacity. So we have to unite with people that are high vibing with this truth and their potential and living their dream, and are wanting it's just like oozing out of them to share their gift. So we're really excited about that, and we know that as we do that, there's this higher mission that's at play with the One Heart Global mission. you know. So
wow. Thank you so much, Michelle and Amber. And it's funny you talked about the sun setting, and I thought, well, what really makes the sunset? And it's actually the life force. Funny, it's called life force connection, the life force energy behind even the sunset that's constantly moving, that there's a life force breathing us. It almost makes me cry because that is the frequency that is beyond what we can even like capture with our mind, right? And so we feel it with our hearts. And I just invite everybody to feel the beat of One Heart Global right now. Like, we are with you. The universe is behind you, like Michelle said, right? And we're just like, hey, here's the way. Like, open your heart to receive the love. And we've got you, you know?
that's why this is so relevant, that this is on oneness, because yeah, that's the relevancy of all this work, that it's the oneness of the universe, because we're all tapping into that vibrational frequency of that life force connection, and it's just continually there. And you know, it's about us staying clear and attuned to it to be able to move with it.
Yeah. And trust it, right? It's like, I do think it's constantly moving and flowing. And it's like, I'm just thinking for myself to move with it. Is there anything else either of you want to share? We just have like a couple more minutes probably before we wrap up. Is there anything that either of you want to share?
No, I'm just really excited to meet whoever feels called to come and join the journey, and tap into their own intuition and really bring and activate that to the forefront of their being. I think that's just that's where it's at. That's where best life living is at. That's where dreams are made, and that's where people can actually live everything that they truly have believed or felt or dreamed about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So lifeforceconnection.com, coaching-certification. Jump on in, have a look at the Intuitive Success Club, and we really trust it and hope that we will see you there really soon. We want to come and hang out, and we want to play with you. Have some fun at the same time.
Oh, thanks, Michelle. Amber, do you and your little one want to say anything?
You want to say anything? My mom is getting me noodles.
Mommy's getting you noodles. That's
What?
cute. Well, my mummy's going to get me noodles.
Oh, noodles.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Oh, new school. He's going.
Oh,
to
new school. Oh, not noodles, new school. You want
Getting new.
Maybe I was thinking about noodles. You're going to a new school. That's pretty cool.
Uncle Friday. Funny.
See right there.
Share that I am very excited for this journey. And also going back to the meditation before, Michelle, I wanted to say, Kuba actually, when he was teaching me last night, he said, you know, I learned this from Michelle, you know.
So you're passing it down to the kids.
That's just so beautiful. And to think that meditation series popped out so that we could actually support the One Heart Global mission. And I just felt served to do that without even being fully accredited at the time. And I now am. And last night I was delivering a meditation series for people who actually had donated to the One Heart Global mission. And we just sent the money over to One Heart Global yesterday from all their donations.
Wow.
And there was about I think about 20 of them online last night. And like, I was able to give gratitude to them for not only saying yes to themselves, but also when they did that, they said yes to the kids. And that, to me, even, you know, that's what the Intuitive Success Club focus that we have right now is. If you say yes to you, you'll be able to support a kid. And I think that's pretty cool, because they felt amazing about that. And they were the ones who also benefited from sitting there and receiving and claiming themselves through a gift of meditation. So that's why I just know that it's a win-win-win, you know. When everybody's operating in that place, good things happen.
Yeah.
Good things happen.
Awesome. Well, I love it. Well, I got to run, but thank you so much for being here. Hop on lifeforceconnection.com, check out the classes under coaching certification. And then Michelle, if there's anywhere they can connect with you, or Amber, if there's anything you want to share about how they can reach out to you, feel free. I'm here.
Just reach out to Abby. Reach out to Abby. Then connect with us anyway.
Yeah, we're all the same team. All right. Lots of love to everyone. Talk to you soon.
Bye everyone. Have a great morning, day.